We are in powerful eclipse season, and this is your guidance for the total lunar eclipse in Virgo. Welcome. I am Kirsten. I am a moon mentor, an intuitive and energetic healer, where I pour my heart, my soul, and my dedication into working with the cycles of the moon, because the Luna has very much held me in reconnecting with my truth, my divine feminine energy, and thus has taught me the power of flowing with the energetic cycles, bring me back to my own inner sovereignty, allowing me to become stronger and more grounded in every direction of my life. But before we talk about this total lunar eclipse in Virgo, and Virgo specifically, I want to ground us in what eclipses actually are, because we hear a lot on socials about eclipse seasons and how dramatic and chaotic they can be, because they are often described as wild card energy. And it is not because the universe itself is chaotic, but because eclipses can reveal what has been hidden. They tend to bring forward information, patterns, circumstances, and emotional truths that we're not fully able to see before. An eclipse is an accelerator. So this period of time does not necessarily create chaos, it actually accelerates evolution. So when we work with these energies with an open heart and an open mind and a proactive connection to our greatest selves, then eclipse energy is a huge gift. This is a full moon, which means the sun and the moon are in opposition. The moon is currently in Virgo, the sun in Pisces. The archetype of Virgo is very practical, analytical, focused on health, and very habit driven. Whereas opposing that, Pisces is very intuitive, emotional, very spiritual, and deeply connected to the unseen. So at this total lunar eclipse, what is being illuminated right now is the tension that we may hold between our daily habits and our higher vision we have for ourselves. Virgo asks, are your routines, your behaviors, and your emotional responses truly aligned with who you say you want to become? Pisces asks, are you listening to your intuition, or are you overriding it with control? Now, here is where this eclipse becomes very significant, because this eclipse is a south node lunar eclipse. South nodes are very karmic energy. It represents past patterns, ingrained behaviors, and emotional loops that we repeat purely because they feel familiar. And this eclipse is not about thinking about the new things that we want. It is about seeing what is closing out, what karmic pattern is done, and releasing that. Virgo rules our habits, and habits are simply emotional responses that we have rehearsed so many times that they feel automatic. And many of those habits were formed as protection strategies, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, or maybe being misunderstood. The question this eclipse asks is pretty simple, but very profound. Is the pattern still serving the person you are becoming? This strong Pisces energy surrounding this eclipse is balancing out that Virgo energy, because the sun is sitting with the North Node, Venus, Mars, and Mercury. This is going to highlight our emotional sensitivity. So you may feel more tired than usual, maybe more reflective, or more aware of your triggers. And this is intentional, because where you are triggered is where you are being invited to evolve. When something activates you, notice the story you are immediately telling yourself. Notice the assumptions that you make, and notice the behavior that follows this. That is the karmic loop. And here is an empowering truth that you can sit with. You are not your first reaction. You are not your conditioning. Your nervous system can learn safety. Your brain can rewire. Your emotional responses can change. This eclipse is that refinement portal. Virgo refines, Pisces dissolves. So together, this energy is going to allow us to identify the habit and gently dissolve the emotional charge that is attached to it. You may also feel very busy during this time because Virgo can amplify productivity and overwhelm. But this is not a moment to get distracted from the work that we can do on ourselves at this very opportune time. This is a moment to actually carve out some sacred space and time for self-devotion and reflection. Eclipses happen twice a year. They are checkpoints in our evolution. So instead of forcing new beginnings right now, and I know that we have just stepped into the fire horse year and everybody is so ready to bolt, I instead encourage you to observe. Notice what is closing. Notice what feels outdated. Notice which identity no longer fits. There is no point charging forward, still with all the same old karmic habits and habitual ways of being, because we're just going to run into the same issues and problems again and again and again. This is not becoming something else or someone else. It's about refining who we already are. Because if we were to close even one emotional loop this month, who could we become? Who could we run forward as with ease and joy? And which emotional loop would change your life the most? This total lunar eclipse in Virgo is a karmic clearing point. It is an opportunity to respond differently, to regulate your nervous system in moments when it is activated, and to consciously choose a new pattern. And when you change internally, your external world reorganizes in response. This is not spiritual fantasy. This is energetic and psychological law. Use this eclipse wisely. Slow down, reflect, interrupt the loop, and choose differently. Of course, I guide you through exactly how to do this in the Moon membership, so you can join me at thelightpathcollective.com there. But this is evolution and you're ready for it. If this resonated, subscribe to this channel so you do not miss your cosmic report on every full and new moon. And let me know in the comments what you are ready to release under this Virgo eclipse. I'll see you at the next